Finishing Touches. Hi, everyone. My name is Pilar McWhirter. We're filming Finishing Touches with Marc Nolan, and today I am sitting with
Kami.
the boss, the man in charge.
It's the guy.
The guy.
Just the guy.
Just
No, yeah, just the girl, just the guy.
Yeah, we're just two people here filming this incredible project that has done so many things. I think this project, Finishing Touches, is a beautiful brainchild of yours. Being invited into the Marc Nolan store to not only bring Chicagoans, but bring creativity and foster it in the space to have a conversation about what does it mean to ever really finish a project. Creatives go through so many different things from start to finish. And along the way, the projects evolve over time, as do their own identities and individuals. So I think today, I'd love to talk about that with you. I've known you for quite some time. So I've seen your evolution as an artist, and it's still going on. We're going to talk about that. We're going to talk about your style, and most importantly, how it comes together and what the finishing touches truly are.
Okay.
Good?
Yeah.
Okay, awesome. So let's start by talking about, first of all, I want to talk about your outfit. I want you to, I feel like you're one of those people that is always wearing some shit. And it doesn't, it's okay. It's okay. It
I'm
doesn't
really
need
here to listen.
You're just a guy.
I'm just a guy.
But I want you to talk about what you got on today, head to toe, and then the shoe you picked out.
I could use one word for all of it.
Okay.
Leather. We're doing a thing. It's called it's called creative branding. But I think it's just some days I be feeling like I want to feel smooth, you know what I mean? So it's like the material of leather just always makes me feel really. That's a bullshit answer.
It is a bullshit answer.
I'm sorry.
You're wearing shit. Shut the fuck up.
I'm sorry. It's a real bullshit answer. No, but on some real shit, it's like I've always been into fashion. Like all my friends, we've always just kept up with design. You know what I mean? So when and not to be funny, like a lot of leather works. Like you could tell great design through something as versatile as leather, but it's also pretty hard to work with. So when I see shit like this, fucking Our Legacy or Helly the Mill, whatever, right? It's like the craftsmanship. It's like I'm not seeing a lot of other people wearing the same thing, leather or not. So
it's one of those materials that's actually quite interesting in that way, and it wears really well over time too. There's a lot of longevity in leather as well.
I like it. Beautiful. I like the idea of it too, because like you wear leather in. So it kind of not grows with you, but molds to you, right? Mm-hmm. So it's like when you have leather pieces and you wear them, you could tell like if somebody bought a jacket like as a statement piece that they wear once in a while, because it's probably going to be still structured and, shaped up or whatever, versus like, I'm going to make something my uniform, So. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and I love the little metal details that are without the piece, like throughout the piece that you're wearing, and then also you just bring it in with the jewelry. You got an aesthetic. It's intentional. It's intentional,
try sometimes,
which is good. I don't think that there's anything wrong with trying. I think you do a good job of bringing your look together. So tell me about the piece you picked out.
Well,
the store.
I wish they had them. Shit, like these are some joints that are like these are coming out. You know what I mean? Like I wish they had them so I could at least wear them. But yeah, no, Marc Nolan strikes again. I like the hardware, the metal on it. Even just like when I accessorize, like I'm a pretty I like gold, but I like silver tones a little bit more. But it's just for lack of better terms, a fire shoe.
Yeah.
So
yeah,
it is what it is.
And I do think that if it was in today, it would go perfectly with your look as well. It would go perfectly. So let's talk a little bit about your routine right now. You're in a heavy music making mode. Like you've been very consistent with promoting the music that's coming out, Sensational's out, which is exciting.
Thank you.
I would love for you to talk just about what your routine is like right now in your creative process. What's been keeping you grounded, but also motivating you?
You know what? And just being on the other side of this, and I don't want it to sound cliche, but just the first thing comes with like just approaching your fitness, approaching your wellness, right? So it's like the gym is part of the routine. The goddamn trying to eat healthy, as healthy as possible. And then like trying to balance this. The thing I've learned in the past, like really, really honed in on, is trying to create and balance a schedule, a real schedule, because all the things that you want to do, if you want to try to put on different hats or try to do things in different fields, you got to respect the field that you're doing it in, because you're not just coming from field A to field B with the same experience and know-how and da-da-da. So when you schedule it, you're giving it time. And when you give things time, you're giving it, real energy, giving it so when you say we're shooting at 1:30 or da-da-da, it's like I might be late to the studio because I know how to make music with my eyes closed. But if it's time to shoot or direct some shit, I'm trying to be a student of that still. So it's but to answer the question about routine, it's about right now, it's about probably wellness and scheduling is the routine. I try to wake up every day and think about what I'm doing that day, and then, actually make sure I'm checking my boxes.
Discipline, it sounds like, is really important to you because you're also creating in areas that are familiar to you, but also in new ones too. So when you bring that level of discipline across the board, it allows you to kind of lock in to what you're building, right? I think for you though, I will say you producing this work here in a visual space, in a space that is vulnerable, narrative, interview style, that isn't new, right? I think that I've known you for a very long time. I like to say when I first met Kami, right? He was editing home movies. And I was I had gotten out of class. I was hanging with films and he shared a space with Andre and you guys were working on the edit. And it was from the concept through the through line of that movie, which that song to this day is super iconic. The concept of the music video is hilarious to me and incredible in its own way. It's a wild
like Kelly. So.
That it's just there were so many things about it. But even back then, as you were just getting started, there was a notion of visual storytelling and thematic through your work. Do you find that that has been as consistent as you've been growing as an artist? Is visual storytelling just as important to you as the sonic, storytelling that you do through music?
I think, hell yeah, because they got to see it. I think when you hear an idea, it's cool. When you maybe imagine something is cool, but when you see it, it's just different. When you see something right in front of you, it's just different than any other experience that we got, So I think it's always been, I think we've always understood that in the sense of trying to get a point across.
Right.
It's how many ways can you get that point across? And one of the biggest ways you could do it is just by letting somebody see it.
Mm-hmm.
So,
and then in your process, right, do you work on both of those things hand in hand, or for you, when you're going through your music process, is I want to tell the story first, and then the visuals come later? How do you balance both of those creative endeavors at once?
That's a good question. I mean, I think you get excited first more than anything. Once you get excited, the idea for the song comes, or the idea for maybe you're I have this idea for how we want to present the clothes, and then we shoot it, and then it's just the excitement. It's the process is always following and chasing excitement. You know what I mean? More than structurally being I gotta do this first and do that first. I think that takes out the spark.
Yeah.
So it's we naturally get excited about everything, people, things we doing, things we want to do. So I try to just follow excitement, things that naturally
let the energy kind of move you through whatever you're experiencing. That's really beautiful. I do find that for you, it feels very holistic and cohesive. The rollout of your latest work has felt marketed in a way that doesn't feel like marketing, but you're teasing out a new world that you're opening up with your work, which is really cool. It does make me question though, if you're always kind of thinking about things at once, both of those things in tandem, and your energy is influencing it, that feels like a never ending process. When is your work ever truly feeling finished in that? Is it ever finished, or do you feel like it's always kind of ongoing until it's out there?
Man, I feel like it can't, it's I think that it's hard to just to create a finish line, right?
Mm-hmm.
I think it's hard for the person who's in the race to make the finish line because there's no challenge in that. You know what I mean? So I think that everybody else and everything else that you're responding to sets that finish line for you. And you got to be receptive to that. So it's like, if we putting out singles that are being well responded to, and, you know, we're marketing them the right way, and then there's like a demand for more, then you know that the new finish line is put out another single. And once you maybe put out enough of those, now you can get the finish line is now the album. But this isn't something that, like, you know, pride to tell you to make it, to create that finish line for yourself. And responsibly, you should be able to acknowledge that finish line, see the finish line. But like sometimes you gotta experience and be patient to truly understand where you're going. You know what I mean?
Yeah, like there isn't one direct path to get there.
There's not.
You just have to kind of, the energy and following the energy along the way is what gets you to a stronger finish, it sounds like.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Like, I think people like to always control everything. And for me, it's like the surrender of control always has helped me. And even in this process, like the surrender of control of like, I didn't, like, not that I didn't want to, like, I could have been ego-driven and been the host. I could have been ego-driven and been like, I want to be part of the edit. It's like trusting other people to help create those worlds and create those like goals with you is a skill that I'm trying to lean into more.
Yeah, especially as like some of the strongest creatives aren't alone. They're a house.
For sure.
They are a house. They have a village that informs and builds their craft. So, well, thank you for inviting me to host. I'm grateful for that opportunity. It's been a joy.
It's always
been a pleasure for me, genuinely.
No, it's been fun.
It has been. It has been. And I do think this is a new arena for you, right? To like have you behind the camera and actually like directing and visualing. Do you see like your visual world has opened up and exposed in a new light because of this work?
Absolutely. Shit. Like, again, I be feeling like a student, like the passion is there, the excitement is there, but it's still like, even with with AJ, it's like sometimes it's just like so refreshing to learn from somebody else. Like you can have all these ideas and be confident about them, but the thing that's always got to be at the back of your mind is that somebody has done this in some way, some degree, even if you're like there is no reinvention of the wheel, you know? Yeah. There is no reinvention of the wheel. It's all with the same, goal and result, maybe even, you know what I mean? It's just a different vehicle, different application of the wheel. So like when you around people that are just better than you at what you do or have put more time in, you gotta defer to them and you gotta like be excited about that. You know, it's like there is no ego in learning, appreciating, and loving what you do.
Right. So a stronger finish can't happen alone.
A strong finish is a strong finish. It's all about a strong finish at the end of the day. Like, you wake up thinking about that strong finish. You know what I mean? Every day I wake up thinking about that strong finish.
And the people that you'll do that with.
Yes, the people that I'm finishing strong with are very important to me. Absolutely.
So, the village.
I'm finishing strong with the whole village of people. That's the goal.
That's community.
Community finish. Community finishing. You know? It's like on a whiteboard.
Yeah.
Like we wake up and it's like,
that's it.
You know what I mean? It's 2 words, like community finishing. And then it's just like you plug and play the people that you kind of want to finish with in that community.
And that is actually, no funny shit, that's actually really how it goes. Because I do think like the one thing about Chicago that has been so fascinating and so powerful for, I think, the rest of the world is our ability to innovate through community, right? 100%. So like you've seen that in our music, you've seen that in the artists that come out and the people that come with that and the confluence of sound. Like we are notorious for that. In a way that we've produced some of the most insane artists to ever live, but those artists have then gone on to influence the most insane people.
Yes.
Right? And it's really beautiful, our ability to do that, but that only comes from the strong sense of community in a way. You are in a very, very powerful community in that way. But I think over time, you guys, well, the one thing about your community is that you guys grew up together, right? So there's a different origin story in that. And then there's also just this notion of like how you all have changed over time. Like community building in practice is not easy. There's tension, there's struggle, there is also beautiful things that come out of it. But your style has evolved, I think, in the community that you keep, in the company that you keep too. So like when you started, it was so interesting. We talked about how like it was easy for you all to identify as rappers, right? It was very easy home base. Like Chicago is known for that. Our sound is built from that. But since then, you could describe your music now as like alternative pop. Like it's rap doesn't even feel like the right word for it, right? So I'd love to talk to you about just how style evolution happens with you personally and how maybe community differentiation or even just like the evolution you've had through community has kind of opened you up to a new sound. And like, is it even something that could be named? Like, I think most people categorize a finished product, but that's not always the case.
No, it's not. I think like we have this obsessive nature to like put things in that order, or put to name things, right? And it's natural. But to go to the first part of your question, if you think about that village, like the whole idea of like a village raising somebody, right?
Right.
It's like they raise you so that you can leave that village.
Yeah.
You get what I'm saying? So it's like at a certain point, it's like different people in that village influence you and differently, and it becomes part of your identity. You get what I mean? It's like as it goes along, but at different points, your identity continues to shift, evolve, and change. And then eventually you separate from that village, being raised by that village. So that creates something completely new. Because now you're armed with all these tools to like do whatever.
Yeah.
Bam. So then, you know, sometimes you revisit that village and you pay homage to the village that you came from. So like you said, it's like, yeah, we was all rapping. That's the thing that made us, that was like Lil Wayne. We grew up with Lil Wayne. So it's like, that era of shit made us want to make music. But then as you find your soul and your spirit, as you grow up and navigate life, that changes who and what you represent. You know, you find that. You can't like, you just gotta be patient with that. And then by the time you look up, yeah, you might not be able to categorize it because it maybe hasn't happened yet.
Right.
You know what I mean? That happens so much. We itching to be like, this is this. And it's really something that we maybe haven't found the name for yet. We maybe haven't found the space for yet, you know? So with the music, I be feeling like, even with the first album, just like the movies, it was like that soundscape wasn't being explored like that in 2016, 2017, but like at least from people in Chicago.
Sure.
And then you fast forward and now that like you get so many different artists, you get Charlie X, like you get all of these different people. And it's like years later and it's beautiful because that's just how energy transfers. Who knows? And not to say it was like me or anything. It's just like things happen. People get inspired by so many different things. They transfer, and then somebody gets to represent the energy in the highest level. You know what I mean? And that's just the, you know, so many people's like, you were like, this happened, you did this. It's like, it doesn't matter because that wasn't the role I was supposed to play at the time, you know? But now I think it's learning from that, experiencing that. It's like, maybe I've gotten better at structuring and positioning the art and like being more aware and conscious of like when I do things to like for them to be received, if that's the goal. Because sometimes it's just like I just be wanting to make some music.
But I think it's interesting that you say 2016, right? Iconic year.
Oh man, the best. I be feeling like it'd be crazy. 2016 specifically is like when we be like talking to your parents or some shit, and they tell us like, yeah, the 70s or 80s were, and I'm like, it's gonna be 2016. Like when they get there, it's like 2016 was that. Like
no, 2016, and it's so interesting that I can't even, like, you know how things be happening in history and you think about timelines and you're like, wait, this happened at the same time as that?
Bro.
For you to have that project and that sound out in 2016 in Chicago is actually so interesting to speak about, like, just what you were saying, how community teaches you something and sometimes it teaches you to leave and do different things. Like that, the timing of that is actually really exemplary. I do think though that like your sound and that energy of like alternative style and pop is clear in the way you present yourself. Like I could say you could look down and look at that person walking down the street and be like, oh, they've got like a rock star vibe or energy. But when I clocked you on that, you did not like that. You did not like that.
No,
phrase.
you know what? It's not even, I don't, like, I accept it, but the whole rock, because I think, all right, bet. Rock star as a term got very broadly abused.
Okay.
It got abused, and it was just like, you know, I think that, at least from my understanding of it, has always been like somebody who actually does not just doesn't care or does, you know, like motherfuckers associate like people who do drugs or just like do anything like, and it always comes, careless recklessness. But I always thought like rock stars are people who did the shit that they cared about.
Yeah.
And I feel like that got lost a lot of times in the use of that word. Like, oh, you just look like a rock star, you got tats on your head, you must not care about shit. And it's like, no, I love my family, I love my little sister. Like, it's so many things that is just like hyperly important to me that I really overcare and I really would crash out about, you know? So it's like, maybe that's why I don't like that word. Even the whole superstar shit, you know what I mean? It was like, it was damn near running away from that word. Like, so, but that's really here nor there, arbitrary, whatever the fuck you want to call it. It's like, it doesn't matter. It's like, call me what you want. And, you know, if that's the role you play for somebody, then that's beautiful too.
Yeah. Would you say your style then in that case, is it armor for you? Is it a playground? Is it a uniform? Because it feels like your style like could read a particular way, but it doesn't necessarily encapsulate all of who you are.
That nigga cold as hell. But
oh, poor guy. Is he gonna come in? No. He's waiting. Okay.
Yo, I think it's for me, it's like, I wouldn't say it's armor. I look for uniforms. I really do look for uniforms. And like, it's funny because like, we was hearing Eric Bellinger talk about like that persona. You gotta dress that persona up as well. And then it's like you yourself. Me, myself, I dress I dress, you know, down, like not down, but like I like everything. We grew up in sneaker culture. I grew up around all my homies. Like we used to wait for shoes and hats and all sorts of shit. But when I started like understanding the whole superstar commie persona, I was like, it gotta be considered, I gotta feel like a cartoon sometimes.
Every time.
You gotta feel like cartoon sometimes. And it's like, when you turn on that cartoon, you know exactly what you finna, like Dexter's Lab, that nigga got a closet filled with white lab coats, you dig? So it's like, I wanna have that, you know? So it's like, I'm gonna keep the fit for that. But then, you know, everyday life is like, I get flea. Like, I really do this flea shit. Like, you know what I mean? So it's like, I don't know. It's like, it's not an armor. I search for the uniform. I do search for the uniform. But at the same time, it's like, there's a freedom. There's a freedom of like, I've always just liked, even the relationship I have with Marc Nolan. It's like, this wasn't necessarily the first place or thing that I would have walked into myself, but the owner, Sebastian, is just such a nice guy, like a great dude. So like now you're building a relationship with these things and you're seeing the beauty in the things pull out. Luckily, and again, to his credit, he's allowed me to design some of the shoes. You know what I mean? So it's like, it becomes something, it evolves into something. And I love shit like that. I love seeing something that like the, not even a juxtaposition, a subversion of things. So like you said, it's like people might see me like this and think I'm a certain type of way. It happens all the time. Like in a lot of my relationships with friends, with women, like it just is always like, oh, I thought you were, and then it's like, no.
Gotcha.
I mean, gotcha. It was a no. Keep it in a.
Yeah, I think, but that is actually the power of style, aesthetic, and fashion. And also, to me, uniform doesn't necessarily mean like you are confined in that. There's also like a little bit of creative consistency or allowing yourself in that. And then it also feels like your persona, the superstar energy, yeah, that does come across with very particular type of gear and things, but then it also allows you the freedom to say like, hey, I feel comfortable. This persona is like one to one. Like I feel comfortable going out there like this. And then also the breathing room to be vulnerable and like subvert who you actually are when people get the opportunity to know you. And there are also environments I've noticed in your work, right? Like, you know, you doing video work and visual world work, and then you doing your music is one thing, but you also throw parties. You also create community. You also create merch. You also create things where people allow themselves to step into your world as well. So I'd love to talk just about how the evolution of community and the significance of like creating space where people can actually come together. They can have a good time, or they can embrace like the Lover brand too. Like that feels like an extension where people can, you know, build relationships, build community, but it's a little bit different. Like, tell me a little bit about what that universe, that style, and that universe of Lover is, and how that might differ or be an extension from the superstar persona that you've had for a while.
I love that. Yeah, no, I think, yeah, with something like Lover, I actually was trying to think about like, how do you make something that's not about you?
Yeah.
Being an artist for as long as I've done this is like, it's always been like, even the people I meet and your managers, and it's always about me, or like me as the central focus of a brand. With Lover, it was just like, bro, like, it's so much other shit that I love that has nothing to do with me. But then it's like, what is my appreciation, my spin on it? That's what I wanted to create a vehicle for. And, you know, so even with the parties, it's like when we was young, like in high school, me and Vic, and like really like maybe me and Vic joke, like we used to want to like just like throw party, and cause it always like made sense with like being a rapper and entertainment and the nightlife of it. But even now, what I learned is really what you said, is like building a community has been the most rewarding shit of all time, because it's like you're creating the village. You're creating the village. You're creating a village for people to be able to subscribe to and come and have there's own input. There's so many people that I've met through doing this who have given me great ideas, not only for Lover, but for myself. Yeah. And again, it's like a learning experience. It's like I'd be trying to create and cultivate shit that I could learn from. So yeah, front facing. It's like motherfuckers might know in the city, might know my face or whatever. But for me, I'd be like, this is all market research. This is all like time to be present and be aware and be with people and kind of give them my true self. Right. Or not that I'm not my true self, but like give them that access to me that you generally would reserve as somebody who was trying to be this type of artist or whatever the hell, you know what I mean? It's like, I feel like the people who know me to not like, maybe when they get there, be like, I'll be super serious about shit. But then when it's like, you really actually know me, it's like, I don't give a fuck about you know what I mean? It's not that serious ever. So it's a good, Lover has started to help balance me out in realizing and learning that it is about the people you surround yourself with. It's about the people you pour into, the people who pour back into you. So that's what love is. You know what I mean? Like, if you ever loved anything, you know, ever loved anyone and you know, really really loved that person or that thing or that moment or, you know, whatever, I think that it's natural to want to give that. You want to feel that as long as you can. Like, I don't think it's a person alive who's love somebody who's like, I'll never love again. It's like
it's for life.
Yeah, you want to, like, you damn near still gonna love that person. You damn near wish or want to receive that love again at some point. or you will be miserable.
Mm-hmm.
You will literally be miserable.
Yeah.
So.
And creating space for people to like experience that for once. Like I think that like love is like chasing the dragon in a lot of ways.
It is
Like
chasing the
you
fucking
really
dragon.
like you gotta be careful. But I think that you can't let your cautiousness stop you from experiencing it in the first place. So that's why I think like going outside.
Hell yeah.
You know,
motherfuckers be trying to say the streets.
look,
The streets love you, bro. Like this,
the
nah, but
outdoors, the great outdoors.
the great out. Damn, this is what we start calling this shit. I'll go to the great outdoors. Fuck the streets,
You know, and I think, but it's important though because you have to put yourself out to a certain degree, right? And that's why I think the consistency though of like a space or a series where it's like, yo, some different folks might pull through. Like since you've started to do these events, like you've definitely started to get a community, a type of person that goes out there. But every time I go, there's folks looking. There are people looking to connect with one another.
People looking good.
There's people looking good too, because what you put on is also a big part of it. Because you're like, yo, this is gonna be my moment. I'm gonna be able to pull this fit, and I'm gonna go to this thing, right? Because there's always a moment to take pictures, or there's always a moment for people. So I do think that, like, you creating the space for love or a place for people to connect also inspires people to like put themselves out there, style themselves differently, get themselves ready to go out, and also be received too. So it's an interesting like creative challenge to people just as much as it is a creative opportunity for you. Like
absolutely. And you said one thing that was like people going out there. I think that the relationship in a big city with like going out culture in general, especially when it's like you're still valuing like, like how people dress and like all that. I still feel like a part of the lover event side of shit is like challenging this, like there's a way to accept people into spaces and it doesn't have to be exclusive while it can still be elevated and it can still be raw. Right. Like it's like club culture or some shit is like you can't come to the club with Timbs and whatever. And it's like who the fuck do you think go to the club the most and spend that bread? Right. Is the motherfucker who gonna come in there with all his chains on wearing the Tim? But I love seeing that nigga and then the goddamn motherfucking Jenko jeans. You know what I mean? Motherfucker with a fitted vintage tee on in the same place. That's what this shit is really about. It's not about like attracting one dimension of person or one dimensional people. It's like, how do we bring everybody together in a very peaceful, loving way without it being like, not even corny, but just without it being like, we want to promote peace and love. It's like, how do we just let motherfuckers cook? Because once those barriers are down, because like once the table is gone, right? Like let's just use the club for example. Once the table is gone,
oh, kill the table, please.
Kill the table. There's no
table.
The table is dead.
Kill the section. Kill the table.
Send the section back to God. Look, fuck him. Like if you take the motherfucking tables away, you take all this like, who is these people for real? You'll be so surprised how in common people, like how much in common hella people have with each other that look completely differently. You'll be surprised the ways that people bond or find commonality through maybe trauma, maybe find commonality through hobbies. Like you'll be surprised how many people is like, real street niggas who maybe game, like play the game or some shit. And then it's like you connected through something like, you'll be surprised niggas who play sports or people who didn't have fathers or like there's so many connective tissues that we ignore because we only create the space to appeal to one of those things at a time. So it's like, I wanted to challenge that. I want to challenge that, continue to challenge that. It's like, bro, it should be a place where everybody come in. Yeah, maybe in that place you get your little corner and you got your little crew, but it's like what high school did for people. It's like it forced you to mix, and that might change you for the better for the rest of your life. Meeting that person that give you a different perspective might really, 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 really turn you up forever.
Yeah. And it's so beautiful you put it that way because I do think that people need to be in an environment where they feel safe enough to do that.
Absolutely.
Right. And I will say like
that's a good point.
Yeah.
That's a great point because I think that the reason it don't happen is because of fear. Yeah. And fear is not just violence based or violence, associated. It's like fear of the rejection.
Yes.
Or fear of da-da-da. So yeah, like being safe
the place
is...
where you feel comfortable to put your shit on and people will accept that no matter where you are. And
bad bitches and gooners welcome, dude.
That's it.
Bad bitches, gooners, geeks, lovers, all that shit is like, we need to... There should at least be a spot where it's like, just come find out. If you don't like it, then move around. You know what I mean? You might not, and the beautiful thing about this is like, you might not like that shit maybe one night. You might love that shit another night, because the space isn't built for just one person, one type of person, and none of that. It's like, come find out. That's I make that the motto, is just come find out. Come check it out. In a positive way. Yeah, no, facts. And I think that's one of the most beautiful parts about going out, especially, is like, I get excited. Like, that's what gets me out of the bed every morning. It's like, oh, I get to wear this today, or I get to try this today, or even going out at night. It's like, that is your icebreaker. The girls know this, especially. Like, the girls are good for that. I love that. Where did you get that? The girls in Chicago, and I love that for us, we are incredibly complimentary. We're also generous with how we put our shit together, because Chicago is one of those style cities where, like, there are certain places you can go for things, but majority of the time you're sourcing things. Like, Marc Nolan is a rare location where it's situated where you can, like, come here, go to a couple other spots, and then now you've got a full look together. But like, the generosity of being able to use style as like your icebreaker. Dude, it's everything. It's everything. But you know, Chicago's so special in that place, because it's like, we have a lot of identity, like, culturally for ourselves. We have a lot of pride in our culture. We have that. We actually do have contributed to the world tenfold of, like, culturally, like, giving the world shit that is real, right? Right. But here, I think there's that double edge of it. It's like, we are complimentary, but then it's like, really it's like, the tough skin aspect of this shit is like, oh, you think you got that shit on. It's like the compliment with that, not the backhanded compliment, but it's like, our culture is to, like, challenge, to check it. You know what I mean? Be like, and then it's like, if you really got that shit on, if you really confident, that shit don't bother you. Right. It's like, nobody gonna be like, damn, you got all that leather on. It's like, I'm good. Like, this is what I chose to do. I wake up every day and love who the fuck I see. So it's like, you're not gonna make me feel bad. And I don't think it's nobody's real intention, but it's like, if you get checked and then you, like, start questioning, like, do I wear too many big boots? Like, no, nigga, like, like, I wear some Marc Nolans, nigga, Coquette on, like, fuck it. But I love that about our shit, because it don't breathe this softness, where it's like, you know, like, being politically correct about everything, and like, I think it's like, it creates those vacuums where you can learn because there's pressure. Right. You know what I mean? That whole saying, like, pressure makes diamonds, is like, if you apply that to everything, it's like, when there's pressure, there's innovation. Yeah. When there's pressure, there's these, you know, there's unexpected results. You don't know what's gonna come out of our shit, but we keep the pressure on, motherfucker. We didn't need a nigga walking here to spend his savings, and niggas will still heat him. Right. And still make them feel good to still, you know, shop and feel like it wasn't that serious. You know what I mean? Yeah, letting your aesthetic allow you to, like, feel the most confident should be, like, the ultimate goal. Because I do think that, like, everybody, if your outfit starts a conversation, then that's the whole point. Like, genuinely, good or bad, it is like, style can be such a gateway to your next intro, your next person, your next anything. So, like, creating an environment where that can be owned is beautiful. But I do think, to your point, though, a lot of people have this sense of pressure or fear that stops them from doing it. So one thing we like to ask everybody that comes on the show, as you know, is the advice that people need to finish strong or put something out there that they've been holding back in themselves. So what advice would you give somebody who's struggling with that? Hey, yo, finish strong that they've been holding back in themselves is crazy. Like, it's your show. I know, but you did that. You did this. The reason we're here is because of you. Is actually you. No, okay, no, seriously. But it is just sad. I'm sorry, folks. I feel like even just the whole no cut. No. I'm gonna answer this question. I'm gonna finish strong for you. No.
I'm not going to get clip farmed.
I'm going to get you mean, Buzz. We need.
I'm not going to get clip farmed because of you. I'm going to give it one more good college try, and we're just going to try that one more time.
So try it again. Don't cut that.
You're not going to clip farm me.
Don't cut that.
You're not going to do it.
Don't do it. Just ask your question again if it make you feel better.
It would, actually.
Come on. Clear. Action.
You said a lot. Like, how we're able to do this. I don't even know how many more of these we have. It's just.
It's a work day. It's a light day. Yep, on the job. Drinking on the job. There's not water in there.
You're the one that gave me the shot.
You know what?
All
right, now.
But still, now, see, that's
okay.
into yourself.
Let's wrap.
You told the Brazil boys to leave their bottle at that point.
Brazil baboons.
Okay. So you talked about a lot today, from just, the importance of community, the importance of being in an environment where people feel safe enough to express themselves, and how style can truly be your gateway to anything, right? But there are a lot of people who feel pressure, or who are scared, or who are holding themselves back. So with the show being about finishing touches, we always like to end it on, as you know, a word of advice for people who are struggling to reach the finish line. So talk to me about that. What advice would you give somebody who is holding themselves back in any way, shape, or form? Are you struggling to finish? Okay.
I was struggling to finish, and I just applied some patience.
Patience. Yeah, patience actually is good. Okay, patience. Talk about patience.
I think it's the thing that gets you past your doubts, your insecurities, and all, because like you just gotta let, like, they always say that shit about the truth. The truth is the end goal, right? So the truth of the matter that you're trying to finish a project, is like you set that goal and you have patience with that goal. That goal will come to fruition as you pour into it. And you just have to have the patience till that cup overflows. Like you don't know until you got to trust yourself, and you have to be patient with yourself. That's the only advice that has helped me, is like, sometimes you rush and you will stumble, fumble, or fuck it up, because you're trying to reach that goal arbitrarily. You're trying to get there just to get there. Versus,
it's about, right?
You know what I mean? It's really just about like getting there in the best way possible. And that in whatever analogy and metaphor you want to put it in, it's like being first place is about running the best race. You get what I mean? Like the people who are usually at top contenders is because they've practiced and been patient to be the best. So they have the ability to actually finish.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like if you're just trying to hop in and finish just because you said you want to do it, you might end up, disappointing yourself. You might end up regretting shit. You might end up like not being empowered by the thing that you just spent so much time doing.
Right. There's a difference between getting it done and loving what you've done.
Exactly.
There's a big difference.
And loving it. You know what I mean? So maybe that's not the best, or what somebody wants to hear is like, you should just continue to wait until it happens. It sounds like, easier said than done, but it is the truth. It's like you know when you're finished, and you should also know when to release, let go. Because like once something is over, like think about it, like I've been cooking a lot again, so I've been thinking about like a steak. A steak, you can eat a steak well done, you can eat a steak fucking rare.
Yeah.
Like for some people, one is finished, one isn't.
Yeah.
You dig? So it's like you choose what level of steak, what rarity of steak you want to eat, and just go with it. and I'm sure it'll taste fine. You know.
Yeah. And also embrace it at any stage. Cause like I do think that you make a great point about like, hey, you have to have patience with yourself and trying things and putting it out there. And that shouldn't hold you back. So I really, really love that. Thank you for actually sitting down in front of the camera today instead of just being behind it. You're doing a great job, buddy guy.
There we
You're
go.
doing great. So thank you so much for sharing today.
No, thank you. You're so amazing. You're really good at what you do. You finish strong all the time.
Thank you. I try.